Hey, it's Nikki Thompson, and you're listening to Tea with Nikki, embracing your sexual energy. And I'm really, really excited to have you here today for this episode all about journaling, because I've had a few questions in my free Facebook group that I run. And one of the core questions was, what do you do? What do you write? And they were wanting some inspiration on how to get started. So I gave them some inspiration. And I thought, you know what? I think this would make a really good podcast episode. So here I am. Now, before I get into it, I just want to remind you that if you aren't already one of the cool kids inside the free Facebook group that I run called Momentum, then make sure that you come and join in. If you can't find the link, send me a message on social media, either on Facebook or Instagram. It's with Nikki Thompson. You can find me on both those platforms. And send me a message and I will get you inside that group ASAP, because this is where we have a lot of the conversations for, after the podcast. We do free masterclasses. We've recently done a 10-day orgasm challenge, which you can actually go and join into that because it's already all inside the group. You can go and check that out if that's something you're interested in. The 10-day orgasm challenge is how I get a lot of people to start. It's like an introduction to embracing their sexual energy. It's a physical thing that we can do that we're often not doing, that can help us reconnect the head with the body, because we're often living in our heads rather than joining our body and our head together. And this is a great exercise or challenge that you can do to get to that place. So if you want to join those things, then come and join our free Facebook group Momentum. Just send me a message and we can hook you up into that group. All right. So now it's time to talk about journaling. Now, journaling is something I've done since I was a kid. I love stationery. I'm a stationery addict. I definitely have more journals than I probably need, but that's okay. So for me, journaling has always been around a space where I can process my thoughts. I love to talk, as you probably can tell if you've been listening to any of these episodes on the podcast, but I also love to write. And journaling was a way for me to process what I was thinking, what's going on, and just an outlet for me. But it also turned into a great kind of documentation, I guess, of my life. And I have got journals from when I was probably in my teenage years. I'm not a huge person who will hold on to all of these things for years and years and years. Perhaps I might become that kind of person, but I'm more the type of person who will declutter on a regular basis and chuck everything else out. So I do like to keep journals that have been relevant, have been of significant times in my life. And I do have a lot of the journals I've used and written in since having my children, because I have enjoyed reading back and reflecting on that journey over the past 10 years, because my eldest is nearly 10 in a couple of weeks, which is exciting. So journaling, what do you write in there? How do you get started? Especially when we're talking about our own sexual energy journey and embracing our sexual energy. What the fuck do you write about? Do you want to be writing about your orgasm? Yes, you could do that. Some people don't feel comfortable doing that yet. But my hope is that you get to a place that you talk about your orgasm, or that you can write about it in your journal for yourself. And perhaps it's a way to communicate with your partner if it's a topic that is difficult for you to communicate face-to-face, verbally. Perhaps writing it down could be a starting point. And I know with my current partner now, that one of the things we did in the early stages was I would often keep a journal of things that we got up to, things that were fun, little adventures that we went on and stuff like that. Not just sexual stuff, but it helped him to kind of understand where I was coming from and what was going through my mind, how I felt through all of this process. And it was something fun that I liked to share with him. So I feel as though you need to understand your audience in your journal. If your journal is just for you, which 99% of my journals are just for me, then that's go for it. Go for gold. Like, it doesn't matter what you're putting in there. But if you do want to use this as a way to communicate with your partner, then, or friends or anybody, then, keep that in mind when you're writing. So I love to start from a place of this just being my own. And that's where I would suggest if you're just starting out. But some of the things I like to do is I like to write out my celebrations, like what has been going really well for me. The thing that I have found as a bit of a pattern in my journaling is I tend to write more when I'm not happy, when things are not working out, when things are shit, to be honest. And this is a time where I can reflect and I start to look back. Okay, what was going on during this time? How was I feeling? How was I treating myself? All of those types of things. So when I'm feeling really shit, it's rare for me to really deeply reflect in a positive way, in a productive way, but it's definitely something I'm working on. And it allows me to become more mindful of my thoughts. When I've written them down, I can see what is going on. I can start to kind of step back a little bit and reflect and look at what's going on. So this is a space from where you can start. What has gone really well for you today? What has not gone so great for you today? How have you dealt with that? What has been your reaction, or what has been, how have you dealt with it verbally, with other people, with yourself? Have you, for me, and this is my own example, been binging? I'm an emotional eater, and again, it's something I'm working through. Totally going to put my hand up knowing that one. But did I just go and eat to make myself feel better? Or have I been a little bit more productive? Did I have a nice shower? Did I use my essential oils? I tend to have like a bit of a emotional first aid kit. I have my candles, crystals. I'm that kind of woo-woo in a way, but I wouldn't really see myself as overly woo-woo. But anyway, but I do have those things, and those things help me feel better. Did I make myself a cup of tea? Did I just chill out for a little bit? What did I need? So those are the types of things I like to journal, so I can reflect back and think, oh yeah, this stuff really does work. Like having a nice hot shower can make me feel better. Having a cup of tea makes me feel better. Meditating makes me feel better. But again, if we're just constantly reacting and not reflecting on how we react to shit situations, then we tend to repeat the negative behaviors over and over again, the negative reactions such as binge eating or turning to alcohol or gossiping and bitching to family and friends. That doesn't ever really make me feel that much better. It does for a moment, but not long term, because in long term I start to think, oh shit, why did I do that? Like, I was just having a bad moment, but I should have just not been bitching about whatever it was. So these are the types of things that I want you to start journaling about, because this can help you reassess where you're at, what does work for you and what doesn't work for you, what felt really good and what didn't feel so good. And these are the types of things that we want to be looking for and highlighting, and even taking out, like even having a moment of journaling right now, if you have journaled in the past, even if you haven't, but reflect back and look back. What have been some of the coping mechanisms that have been amazing for you when you've been feeling not so great? What kind of things haven't been so great? How can you kind of try and turn that around so that you're not feeling so like on default autopilot to the negative? Because when we start to embrace our sexual energy, it is a journey. There's going to be shit stuff that comes up. There's going to be things that you're like, oh my God, why did I do that? Because we're going to become more aware. When we're more aware, it's actually a little scarier. It's good, but it can be scarier, because it's easy just to live unaware of all of the shit patterns that we have in our life, of all of the shit reactions that we have in our life. It's so easy to just be unaware of that, because then we don't have to do anything about it. But when we become aware, we realize we actually need to do something about this. We become aware of how do we react? is that a good thing? Is that, what we want to be known for? Is that how we want to be living our life? Because our reactions become part of our life. And is that what we really want? So awareness is something that is one of the key things that comes from journaling. Journaling helps us to become aware of what is going on in our thoughts, what patterns are we continuing to implement or live out that we may or may not want. We become aware of what might be triggering us. So, for example, for me, when I'm exhausted, I get triggered a lot more than when I'm, quite energetic and taking care of myself. And I get triggered by people's stupidity. I get triggered by slowness if people are driving particularly slow. It just irritates the shit out of me. But when I'm in a good place, it doesn't bother me as much. So from journaling, I can see, oh my God, all of these shit things are happening because I'm exhausted. I'm not giving myself enough space. I'm pushing myself too hard. And I am a type A overachiever type personality. I love to keep going. I love to create. I love to do my own thing. I'm an entrepreneur at heart. That's always been who I am. And I love it. I love it. But it is quite the roller coaster of ups and downs. And I was talking to my partner about that the other day I love this. He's like, holy shit, you're so up and down. And he wasn't saying it in a negative way. He's just like, wow, you really live like that. And for him, he's my stable rock energy. And that is really important for me because I need that. And so I need that stable energy from him, because for me, I love to live hard. Like, I love to be all in, but I also know that getting those highs also means that I do hit some lows. And I'm okay with that because I've seen, again, it's through journaling that has helped me become more and more aware of different patterns in my life. I love the successes. I love the adventures. I love the ideas and being able to implement these crazy ideas because I have full trust in me and my abilities, and I also have full trust that everything's going to work out. But it's only through journaling that I've become fully aware of this, and it's a process. I'm not just going to get to this awareness level and be like, oh, awesome, I'm done. It's definitely a journey. Just like embracing my sexual energy has been a journey and will continue to be a journey. You don't just get to a certain level and be like, okay, we're good, we're done here. So this is what I want for you, is to be able to open up to this level of awareness through journaling. So what worked? What didn't work? What felt good? What didn't feel good? How did you react, and how did that make you feel? Is that how you want to react in the future? Is this a pattern of behavior that you want to continue, or do you want to shift this and make something different? What do you want it to look like? How do you wish you had have reacted? All of these things can start to help you open up to this level of awareness. And when it comes to embracing your sexual energy, what I love to do, and what I did in the 10-day orgasm challenge, was that we did a daily word. So some of the words, for example, were pleasure, passion, energy, beauty. There was lots of them, but they were just a couple of the words that we did. I did one word every single day. So there were 10 of them. And each day, people could either discuss their orgasm if they wanted to, or their own self-pleasure practice of, I had candles out and I felt good and I did it after a bath and whatever it was. Or they could post and share about this particular word per day. And that helped women start to unlock some of the lessons that the 10-day orgasm challenge is designed for. It's designed to help you start to become aware of what limiting beliefs we have around sex and sexuality, and what stories we have around this. This is stopping us from having the life we want, stopping us from truly embracing our sexual energy and listening to our intuition. So I urge you to go and check out the 10-day orgasm challenge inside the free group. Actually, I will put the link to the free group in the show notes. So if you're listening on Spotify, Stitcher, wherever you're listening to the podcast, you'll be able to check out the show notes with the link. And I would love for you to come and join that and check out the 10-day orgasm challenge. If this is something that you're feeling like, oh yeah, this is what I need. This is where I need to be moving forward to. So I really hope you've enjoyed this episode. I would love for you to go and get a beautiful, beautiful journal. I love going to the newsagents and getting they have the most incredible golden journals. They're stunning. And share with us inside the group why you're starting to journal, and once you are journaling, what kind of things are coming up for you, what level of awareness is happening for you in different parts of your life. So I look forward to hearing about that, and I hope you have the most incredible week. I will be back with you again next week. Don't forget, most Wednesdays we have a guest interview, so you can go and check that out. That will just be inside the podcast as usual, wherever you're listening to this episode. A new episode will come out on Wednesday, so don't forget to subscribe so that you don't miss any of that. All right, I hope you have an amazing week, and I'll see you next week. Bye.